Tip number 15. How are you getting on, guys? I hope you're enjoying this sequence of videos. This is 15 out of 50. So this video is all about tracking your activity, okay? This is probably one of the most important tips in this whole series, so listen up. The only thing that you can physically control in this business, in any business, is your activity, what you physically get up, turn up and do day in, day out, okay? You cannot control whether someone says yes to you. You cannot control whether the offer gets accepted. You can't control whether somebody wants to work with you or not. You can't control whether or not your systems go down. You can't control anything else other than what you turn up and do day in, day out consistently. Okay? Now, what I found when I was growing my business, and actually this goes back to my days in recruitment, back in 2008, 2009, and I got taught that actually the best way to know whether or not you're getting any better at what you're doing is to track your activity and track your ratios. So I'll just talk about tracking your activity first of all. The activity that I track in my business and the activity that as a source I think is really important for you to track is things like the number of calls that you're making. Okay, ultimately, unless you physically speak to people, you're never going to make any money, okay? You're not going to be able to make money sitting in an ivory tower behind a computer screen, never speaking to anybody. You have to have conversations, okay? We're in a people business. There is no way of getting around that. Okay, so tracking the number of calls you make, week in, week out, day in, day out, month in, month out, year in, year out, will be able to tell you, if you can see, okay, well, I've made 100 calls this month and I've done 5 deals, then you know that you need to, if you want to do 5 deals next month, you need to make about the same number of calls. If you want to double the number of deals you do next month, then you need to make double the amount of calls, because the only thing you can control is this bit at this end, okay? Now, what's also really important is that you track things like the number of meetings that you have, the number of viewings you go on, the number of offers that you make. Now, if you're making offers all the time, let's say you make 10 offers a day and you're only converting 1 deal every 3 months, there's probably something wrong with the way that you're offering, or the numbers are not quite working, or they're not stacking right, or whatever it might be, which means it allows you, by tracking that activity, it allows you to identify where in the process, where in the system there is a bit of a break, so that you can concentrate on it, get better at that part, and that will then improve your business moving forward. So if you made 1,000 calls and you never did a deal, I'd be saying, okay, well, what's happening on those calls? What am I saying that is not landing the right way, or not convincing, or not nurturing that relationship in the best way possible, so you can concentrate your efforts on getting better at that stage. Unless you track your activity, it's really easy to actually lose track of whatever you've got going on. There's so many different parts to this business, there's so many different parts to sourcing. Whether you're sourcing to keep or sourcing to sell, it really doesn't matter. There's so many different parts to it that all move all at the same time. It's important that you track that activity. The other thing that's really important is to track your offers. Okay, now this is very, very prevalent when you're looking at things like purchases, BMVs, flips, PLOs, this sort of stuff, development. Okay, when you make an offer and you do the numbers, you do the appraisal, it gives you the figure that you can physically offer. Okay, let's say, for argument's sake, it was 100 grand is the offer you could make. Again, just for easy maths. You make your offer of £100,000. Quite often, it's below market value, or it's below what they're expecting, and it gets rejected.